All right. I'm here with Mrs. Colliato just to talk about her culture. And so, our first question, Mrs. Colliato, is what culture are you from, and what are some of the characteristics of your culture that you would like to share with us? Yeah.
I come from the Philippine culture. The foundation of Filipino family values is deeply entrenched in a rich history of first, respect for elders. Second, close knit family ties. Third, unwavering religious faith. And fourth, resilience. These core values serve as guiding principles, shaping the very essence of familial interactions and individual behaviors. Respect for elders is highly valued. One way is by saying po at the end of your answers to make it respectful. And opo, the polite Tagalog word for yes, to those who are older than you or your parents, aunts, uncles, and the elderlies. We also do mano po by getting the hand and put it on your forehead to old people or your grandparents. Another is close family ties. The Filipino family structure is characterized by strong bonds that extend beyond the nuclear family. This includes grandparents, aunts, uncles, and even close friends who are often considered part of the family. Next is unwavering religious faith, which means immovable faith. And another is resilience. The Filipinos are some of the most resilient people in the world. When you live in a country that is visited by dozens of typhoons and earthquakes every year, resilience is one trait that comes in handy. People from other countries are amazed how Filipinos bounce back from major crises that other people struggle to recover from. Filipinos may stumble to the ground, but we can immediately get back to our feet. Why? Because we never lack friends or family members with a helping hand to lift us up and helps us get back to our feet. Our support system is strong through relatives and countrymen who serve as a safety net that is capable of catching any Filipino from falling down completely, especially when disasters, calamities, and major challenges strike. What makes the Filipinos even more resilient is their deep faith in God. When things get out of control, the Filipinos do not raise up a white flag and surrender. No, the Filipinos raise their hands and live their faith in God. Their faith in God allows them to plod on and move forward even in the midst of crisis. This is exactly what Apostle Paul wants us to do, to exercise our faith and work ourselves out of our crisis. In his letter to the Corinthians, he said, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for you know that your labor is not in vain." That is found in 1 Corinthians 15:58. We appreciate our God given trait of being resilient as a people, which allows us not just to survive, but even thrive amidst crisis and disasters. To the Filipinos, faith matters.
Uh, what are some other things that you would like us to know more about the Philippines?
We have the so-called bayanihan, which is characterized by cooperation, collaboration, and mutual support among members of the community. It's demonstrated by helping one another in times of need. The Philippines is a country full of love, light, laughter, and food. With a slight influence from America and some parts of Asia, the culture of the Philippines is mainly a blend of Filipino and Spanish Catholic traditions. We have a good eye for fashion and art, and our festivals are to die for. The Philippines has 7,641 islands. making it one of the largest archipelagos globally. Surprisingly, more than 5,000 of these islands remain unnamed on most international maps, waiting to be discovered. Sounds amazing, right? Just imagine huge number of islands in there. One of the most remarkable features of the Philippines is its linguistic diversity. In fact, while the official language is Filipino, based on Tagalog, there are over 170 dialects spoken throughout the archipelago, reflecting the nation's vibrant cultural mosaic. However, most of people in the Philippines speak English. With a strong emphasis on English education, the Philippines ranks as the fifth largest English speaking country globally, making communication with locals a breeze for English speakers. Boxing is one of the popular sports in the Philippines. Manny Pacquiao, I know some of you know him, one of the world's greatest professional boxers, hails from the Philippines. Interestingly, crime rates in Manila reportedly dropped to zero during his matches. I believe it's because he is a Christian and has a very influential faith. The Philippines is called the Pearl of the Orient Seas because of its strategic location at the crossroads of the Pacific Ocean and South China Sea. Its long history of pearl diving and cultivation and its cultural and natural beauty. Actually, I have real pearls from the Philippines. I brought it with me when I came to Canada in 2009. As a matter of fact, the largest and most expensive pearl in the world was found in the province of Palawan in the Philippines, weighing a staggering 75 pounds and valued at an astonishing $100 million. Filipinos celebrate Christmas longer than you think. The Philippines takes Christmas celebrations to the next level beginning in September and lasting until January during the Feast of the Three Kings. The festive atmosphere includes decorations and numerous parties.
How does your culture influence your faith?
The Philippines is predominantly Christian in religion. Actually, it is said to be the only Christian nation in Asia. More than 86% of the population is Roman Catholic. 6% belong to various nationalized Christian cults, and another 2% belong to over 100 Protestant denominations, in which I gladly belong. I belong to the Evangelical Church. My culture influences what Christian beliefs I hold. Respecting elders, which is a core cultural value, makes me obey God's fifth commandment, which says, "Honor thy father and mother," as well as Ephesians 6:1, and I quote, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with a promise, that it may go well with you and that you may have a long life on earth." Second, my culture shapes how I practice my faith. One of my culture's core values is unwavering faith. This helps me practice 1 Corinthians 16:13 to 14, which says, "Be on guard, stand firm in your faith, act like men and be courageous. Be strong. Let everything be done in love." This makes me stand firm in my faith in God, respect His words, and keep my doctrine sound. I should act maturely, and my love for my fellow man should be motivated and inspired by God's love for us. And third, my Bayanihan culture reiterates in me to obey Jesus' command, which is, love your neighbor as you love yourself.
And our last question, what are things that you like to do to stay connected with your culture?
I would like to do the following to stay connected with my culture. First, continue to be engaged with the Filipino community in the city, like by getting the Regina Filipino Canadian Children's Choir, which I organized, to be involved in community events to sing in Tagalog. I'd like to continue the Regina Christian School Diverse Dance Group to dance Filipino dances for the Mosaic Festival. Teach simple Tagalog greetings and important expressions to students for their additional learnings. Demonstrate to interested colleagues how to prepare Filipino dishes that they desire to learn, like pancit and adobo. Talk about the Philippines and its rich, vibrant culture in schools whenever needed. The Filipino population in Canada is fastly growing. And last, live my Christian faith reflecting Christ in my culture.
Thank you very much for taking the time to share with us.
Thank you, and thank you for having me, Mr. Reed.
Oh, you're welcome.